Hi everyone, welcome to YouTube. I'm Doug Miles. This is part 2 of my interview with former Senator Gary Hart on my radio show here in Sarasota, prior to a speaking appearance he made to talk about his latest book. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching, and look for more of my interviews here on YouTube.
Talk with Senator Gary Hart. The name of his book is The Courage of Our Convictions, a manifesto for Democrats. And how do you see, I know you travel around a lot, still speaking to people, do you think younger people are more involved in politics nowadays as opposed to maybe 20 years ago when you were running, or even before that when you were involved with the McGovern campaign? How do you see it today?
No, I think that we've lost a sense of national involvement, of citizen involvement, particularly among young people. I think the idealism of the Kennedy era has largely been sacrificed. We went through a period in the last 20 years where it was kind of, as I say, go out and make money and every man for himself. And while all of us believe in being independent and being self-supporting and working in all those principles, we also do owe a sense of duty to our country. We're in the Middle East now trying to export democracy at the point of a bayonet, when 9 out of 10 people in Baghdad could tell you that half the American people don't even vote in our national elections. Well, that's scandalous. How can we export democracy when we don't practice it?
It does seem kind of strange when you think, particularly nowadays with this war going on, how so many states, particularly in this last election, what was the turnout in many states, 30, 40%, which anything under, say, 95% really is scandalous when you think of it. I mean, you have that opportunity to make a choice. Why wouldn't you take that chance, right?
Well, when young people are giving their lives, I mean, Marines and soldiers giving their lives so that Iraqis can have democracy and we don't practice it here at home. In national elections, I think we've been averaging over the last 20, 30 years, 50 to 60% tops, 60% tops. And it's usually around high 40s, low 50s. That's scandalous.
It really is.
If we believe in our system enough to go to war for it and try to bring it to others, we ought at the very least practice it.
Just watching 60 Minutes last night where they interviewed the General Abazad, who's the American general in charge of the mission over there. And
yes.
I don't know if you happened to see that last night, but what are your thoughts on, I guess the interviewer asked him a question of how do we manage defeat? And he said, well, that's your word, not ours. But is that basically what we're looking at right now, just getting out of there, kind of like with Vietnam 25 years ago?
I really wish I had a better solution. I don't think anyone does. That's why everyone's waiting for the Baker Commission to come up with some ideas. I think more and more experts are agreeing that we need the cooperation of the nations in the region, including some that we've kind of thumbed our nose at. We need the Jordanians, Lebanese, Syrians, Iranians, Saudis, and others to help put that country back together. Colin Powell's famous statement to the president was, if you break it, you own it, and now we own a broken country. And it's been a fractious place for 50 years. We just didn't learn anything from the British occupation experience in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and we're paying the price for it now.
Senator, I know you're doing a lot of speaking around. You've written several books. I guess this is your 17th book now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Do you enjoy that aspect of life, or do you kind of miss the political lifestyle from time to time?
Well, I think the only thing I miss is from the Senate is being involved in the great important debates. I don't miss the bad side of politics or the fundraising or the lobbying or any of those things. But it was an extraordinary experience to be involved in some very large-scale and very important debates on the environment and energy and things of that sort. But writing, teaching, lecturing, traveling, all have been very rewarding and very good for me. And it's a big, interesting world out there.
You're going to be coming into a town where our congressional election is still up in the air a little bit. I don't know if you've kept with Vern Buchanan and Christine Jennings. So it always seems to happen in Florida, doesn't it, Senator?
It does. I'm curious to know what's going on down there. I was fortunate enough to win the Florida primary some years back, so I had some experience with the state. But you do have your voting difficulties.
It's within 400 votes, and the Democratic candidate has put a lawsuit out, so who knows? You may have a revote. That'll be kind of interesting.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting. And a former colleague of yours, Bob Smith, sends his regards. He lives down here. He's been a good friend of us at the station, so
sure.
he sends his regards to you.
Well,
Senator,
back.
yeah, sure. And,
Bob Graham was also a great governor and great senator.
That's right. Well, this is a book I think the audience down here is going to enjoy reading and talking to you about. It's called The Courage of Our Convictions, a Manifesto for Democrats. You can get it if you go to this forum on Wednesday night. It's at the Chelsea Center. It's put together by the Sarasota News and Books folks, and you'll be doing a signing as well, right?
Yes, it will.
Very good. And this book is available on all the book sites, I imagine, right, Senator?
Yes, absolutely.
That's great. Well, Senator Hart, it's great to catch up with you for a few minutes. I've always enjoyed listening to you and watching you over the years, and I hope we get to meet sometime. It'd be great to do that.
So, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you. Senator Hart joining us. We'll be back after this.